Our app is called Class Review, and it is designed to help you decide which classes you should take. So on the home screen, you have the Start button. So you hit Start, and it takes you here, where you have 4 different options. So you can ask a question, search by major, search by class, or go to your profile. So if you click Ask a Question, it takes you to here. So you type in your question, and there's also a list of people who have asked questions, their answers, and whether it was helpful or not.
So then you can also click on Major, and then it'll bring you to this screen where you can pick from multiple options in the majors. So we can click on Business, and then it'll take you to subjects within business that you can pick. So then you can click on Economics, and then it'll bring you to the next screen where you can type your question about the class that you're looking for in economics. And then it'll show your question and then other people's answers and whether or not they were helpful.
Another option you have is to click Class. So when you click Class, it comes over here. So then you have the option to type in the course. Once you type in the course, it takes you to that specific course's question base. And again, you have the person's profile asking the question, the answers, whether it was helpful or not. So you can ask if the professor is nice, mean, whether they give excessive amounts of homework, or anything else. The final option that you have is the profile button. So when you click that, it takes you to your profile, where you have your picture, your name and your major, how helpful you are based on other people's ratings of your answers, and your rank. So when you're super helpful, that's why your rank is a wizard. But if you're not helpful, you're a noob. You also have all of your questions that you've asked and all of your latest answers. Our app is called Class Review, and it is designed to help you decide which classes you should take. Right, so here, you click the Start button, and when you click that, it takes you to your profile page, where you have your picture, your name and major, your rating of how helpful you are, and your rank based on how other people find your answers helpful. You also have a list of your latest questions and your latest answers. On the side is a little pull-out menu with your options. So when you click this little tab up here, it takes you to this screen where you have Ask a Question, you can search by major, and you can search by class. You can also search the entire app. So when you click Ask a Question, it takes you to this page where you can type your question here, and you can see other people's most recent questions and answers, and you can vote as to whether they're helpful or not.
And then there's also the option of hitting Major. And it goes and takes you to this next screen where the major is broken down into different categories. So you can hit Business. And in Business, there's also other categories in which you can pick from, and then you can click Economics. And it takes you to the economics page where you can type your question, or you can see the questions that have already been asked and see if they're helpful. And you can actually vote it whether or not they have been helpful for you. You can also pick from class, and it takes you to the next screen where you can type your course specifically, and then it takes you to the next screen where you can type your question and leave it for somebody to answer, or you can go through the questions that have already been asked about that course, and then you can vote whether or not they're helpful.
Our app is called Class Review, and it is designed to help you decide which classes you should take. Here's the option to create a new profile or just sign in. So when you create a new profile, you input your name, major, email, and password. And once you do that, you can access the app. Also, the option to sign in, when you click that, it brings you to this page where all you need to do is input your email and password, and that brings you directly to your profile.
So you can hit sign in, and it'll bring you to the sign in screen, which will then bring you to the next screen, which is giving you 3 options where you can ask a question, pick a class or a major, or you can go to your profile. And then once you go to your profile, it brings you to this page where it shows your profile picture, your name, your major, and then 3 other options where you can pick your stats to how you did, to see all the questions that you have asked, and then also you can see where you have all your answers. So you can pick stats, and I'll take you to the next screen where it shows your stats for how helpful you've been, how good your quality has been, your answer rate, and then your rank. And it'll all be told by stars. So then you can go back and you can pick the questions. And it shows all the questions that you have asked. And then it has the option of you hitting to see an answer, and it'll drop down. And it shows the answer, and then you can rate other people's answers, whether they're helpful or not. And then you can go back and you can click on the answers, and you can see the answers that you have answered other people's questions, and then you can see your ranking on whether it has been helpful or not.
Once you're at this screen with all of your options, if you click Ask a Question, it takes you to this screen where you can type out your question, and you can see the most recent questions that people have asked here. You can also rate other people's answers, whether or not they're helpful. If you go back to this screen, you can also choose class. Once you click that, it takes you to this page where you can type the course number and the course name. Once you find the course that you want, it takes you to this screen where you can type your question, and you can see everybody else's questions and answers in this specific page. And finally, the last option is major. So when you hit major, it brings you to this page where it's broken down into different sections. So if you hit business, it takes you here, which is broken down into specific types of classes. So when you hit economics, it takes you to this page where you can type your question and see people's most recent questions and answers again.